I like Vegas, you know.
Yeah.
I like to gamble, too, you know. You don't gamble, do you?
No, not too much.
I like to gamble. I like the slot machines. You can't help it. They got slot machines all over in Vegas.
Yeah.
You can't even the supermarkets. When you buy a container of milk, cost me $238.
Most jokes made Johnny Carson laugh, but others cracked him up like no tomorrow. These are jokes that cracked up Johnny Carson. Walter Matthau dropping his pants off camera.
I mean,
he said that you did various things while you were working together.
Yes, and I did. Now, I'll tell you why I dropped my pants off camera when I was playing a scene with George Burns. Burns hadn't done a movie in 30 years or thereabouts, right. And he was very, understandably so, apprehensive. And the first thing he did was he blew a line. The next thing I did was drop my pants and bend over.
You mooned, as they say?
I mooned.
Matthau explains dropping his pants off camera like it's a normal production habit that only sounds strange to outsiders. Ed Ames's tomahawk lands in the worst spot.
What is the trick on it? You throw underhanded?
No.
Overhanded.
It's an overhand throw. The trick is to keep your arm extended, and that way you break the microphone. You know, you keep your arm extended and put only one revolution on the... once around on the way. But that's indefinite.
All right.
Right.
Ed gives Carson a simple tomahawk throwing demonstration, and the axe lands directly in the target's crotch area, making the entire studio erupt. Jimmy Stewart's Broadway blooper.
I didn't know what to do, so I went over and talked on the telephone for a while, supposedly, but while he was kind of... But then he evidently got mad, and he started if he'd lift the door up, yeah. Well, he'd lift the whole back wall of the set. And when it came down, 3 pictures fell down. Then he finally got the door open and came in, but the door stayed open. So he had to go close it, and the door wouldn't close. And I went back to the telephone.
Stewart tells his Broadway blooper story in that careful, winding voice where every pause makes it feel like the memory still embarrasses him. Carl Reiner trying to make Johnny sexier.
Stand sideways and just kick your leg out. Kick your leg out. Look at that. Look at that. All right? No, wait a second. What the hell is going on here? It's one of my better suits. Now, don't think of it as a better suit, because the suit is going to be improved. The more people who see you this way, the more... Now look at that. You just cut into my shorts. Look, just look at that leg. Look at that leg. Look at that leg. Wait a second.
Carl Reiner turns Johnny into the subject of a fake makeover lesson treating his natural host presence like raw material that still needs serious romantic improvement. Steve Martin ordering dinner during the show.
Anyway, so I have, I realize that every time I come on the show, I'm always promoting something, and, I just wanted to come out tonight and not really not going to mention it. I mean, I just wanted to do monologue and...
Just be here.
The only thing I am going to do is I'm going to do the Today Show on Tuesday, and then the David Letterman Show, and that's it.
And that's about it, huh?
And the only thing I will be talking about on those shows is my special, which will be on Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. Excuse me. But it's funny doing a special because you meet a lot of new people, and you're constantly working with new people and new directors.
Steve walks into the segment as if the Tonight Show desk is just another place where he can casually order dinner, as the joke is the arrogance of acting like national television should pause for his personal convenience. Albert Brooks selling his home impressions kit.
Let's start out with Clark Gable. I mean, he's a favorite. Clark Gable, you take a lemon, and of course you'll get this in the kit, it'll be freeze-dried. You let it defrost for 1 day. I've chosen a fresh lemon because it's a prototype. This is a little green, so it's going to be bitter.
Right.
That's for Gable in his 30s, when he was 30 to 35. Older Gable, older lemon.
Of course.
Okay? Watch now carefully. All right.
Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn.
Brooks presents an impressions kit with hilarious confidence, as the joke is that ordinary people can supposedly learn celebrity impressions rather than any actual talent, which makes Carson break. Walter Matthau's strange hospital roommate.
Put them on the grill maybe for 4, maybe 3 seconds the most. And don't use butter. Use Crisco. Or if you have some Pennzoil. And this nurse is staring at him. He says, and give me some bacon, I want it raw if possible. I want raw bacon, and I want coffee left over from last week. She says, what are you talking about? I can't serve you a breakfast like that. He says, well, you did yesterday.
The hospital roommate story starts like a normal recovery anecdote, then turns into the kind of weird little nightmare only he could make funny, as the joke comes from Matthau being trapped next to a roommate who turns a hospital stay into an unwanted theater. Charles Grodin and his impotence test instructions.
As a test, every man or a man who is not impotent in the course of a night's sleep will have at least 3. And if you wanted to check whether this impotence was based on... am I fired?
No.
All right. If you wanted to check whether this was based on physical or psychological reasons, what you do is you take a couple of... this is all medical stuff.
Yes.
This is what the doctor said. You take a couple of, or however many you might need, postage stamps when you go to sleep. And in the morning, when you wake up, if those stamps are...
Canceled?
Grodin gives Johnny instructions on how a man can test himself with phrasing, delivered with the seriousness of someone explaining how to reset a television antenna. Peter O'Toole admitting his first appearance was a mess.
Then I thought that this horrible thing crossed my mind. I says, he's bombed out of his gourd. Now, we came to a commercial break.
Aye?
And yes, and I said... I asked you what the problem was, and they'd had you on a publicity tour, if I remember, and they'd been flying you all over the country. I think you'd just flown in from overseas, and you were absolutely exhausted. The time schedule, the jet lag. So when we came back from the commercial, I explained that Mr. O'Toole had had a long day, and the audience, of course, didn't believe it at all, because they always want to believe the worst, don't they? And they thought you were bombed out of your gourd or something like that.
Well, you're very kind.
Peter O'Toole gets Johnny laughing with a drinking story that sounds elegant only through his accent, as the specific joke is built around O'Toole looking back at being in terrible shape during an earlier Carson appearance, then describing it with the charm of a man confessing to a historic theatrical accident. Jimmy Stewart's career ending abruptly.
And so I thought that was a nice idea, so I went up and I started working and everything. I played... After about the 4th time I played the accordion in the tea room, Josh came up and said, I guess maybe you better stop playing the accordion in the tea room. Several people came up and said that your accordion playing spoiled their appetite.
Jimmy Stewart's accordion story gets Johnny laughing through pure gentle embarrassment, as the joke is that Stewart once had musical hopes. Then the accordion career ended in a way that sounds less tragic and more like everyone around him had finally been saved from the noise. Stewart's slow, hesitant delivery makes the story feel as if he's still politely confused by the collapse of his own talent decades later. Albert Brooks gives a special gift for Ed McMahon and Johnny.
Yes. Did you get any?
A little bit here and there. I said my girlfriend was very sweet. She bought me a cake, which was all whipped cream and strawberries and chocolate with a little chocolate wheel in the middle. When you got to it was just a wheel, you know, you die if you eat the cake. A wheel.
A wheel.
Yeah. See, it was like or hate.
I thought you said a wheel, and I was waiting for something.
Let me rephrase that and see if I can make it work. My girlfriend, who wanted to kill me by giving me fattening foods, gave me a chocolate cake with a wheel in the middle.
Sometimes you really have to...
Albert Brooks arrives with a present for Johnny and Ed, and the whole joke sits in the tension between politeness and suspicion as Johnny tries to accept the gesture like a normal host while Brooks keeps shaping the moment into a comedy trap. Ed's presence gives the bit extra life since Brooks understands how to make both men part of the joke without losing control of the segment for even a second.
Yeah.
I think they gave up on that.
Yeah, that was
civil
smart.
defense thing.
There'll be a lot of places to go if there's a war. I'll just come here.
Now, your picture, suppose I went to your real people. It's supposed to be like a documentary on a family. Although it's
real
a
life.
satire, of course.
Yeah.
Suppose somebody came to your home.
Real life, real people.
Just real, average, run-of-the-mill home and people and so forth?
My home?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of an average home. I have a hospital bed.
What's wrong with that?
No, I don't. Nothing wrong. I have a nurse too. I guess I carry it a little too far.
Well,
The gift itself matters less than the way Brooks sells it like a sincere offering, while every beat feels slightly wrong in a way neither host can quite name out loud. Carson laughs at the slow reveal that even a present can become an Albert Brooks experiment conducted live on national television. It's funny in a clever, uneasy way, with Brooks turning ordinary talk show courtesy into something Johnny has to actively survive rather than simply enjoy. The bit works because Brooks never breaks the fake sincerity, which forces both Johnny and Ed to play along without fully understanding where the joke is actually headed. Martin Mull's farewell poem for Carson. Martin Mull's farewell poem sounds sentimental.
So I have written a little poem that I think says it better than I ever could, and I just hope you'll indulge me just this once. Doctor? Maybe a little less light, too, Bobby? J is for the jokes you tell so funny. O is for the one and only Ed. H is for the happiness it gives me to see your face between my feet each night when I'm in bed.
At first, then immediately starts poking holes in the whole idea of a graceful goodbye, as the joke is that he uses the structure of a tribute to make Carson laugh at how awkward tributes can actually be. Johnny clearly expects something clever, but Mull's dry phrasing keeps slipping sideways in ways that make the poem feel less formal and more mischievous with each passing line. The humor is built in contrast with poetic language carrying little jabs and oddball observations that undercut the sentimental setup before it can fully land.
So one night you sat in a chair and just talked, and you managed to approach humor from a little different
Well, I try
angle.
to. I don't find myself that amusing, so I guess by not laughing at myself, that becomes different, etc. Because I was, as you know, deadly serious about that. That was, I think everyone got the point.
Yeah. You're doing a regular turn on the Roseanne show.
On Roseanne, yeah, I've been playing her gay boss, Leon Karp, which is a bit of a stretch for me.
Playing a boss?
Never played a boss. In my...
Did I jump on that? I jumped.
Mull never overplays the emotion, which lets the ridiculousness sneak in quietly rather than announcing itself with an obvious punchline. Carson laughs at the control, especially when Mull makes the farewell sound heartfelt and fake at exactly the same time without ever choosing one tone over the other. It's a strong late-era Carson joke since it turns goodbye into a deadpan comedy format that works specifically because of how sincere it initially appears to be. The poem's structure gives Mull cover-to-land jokes that would feel too sharp in a normal conversational exchange, since the formal poetic frame makes everything feel slightly more permissible. Carson's appreciation for the craft underneath the joke shows in how long he lets Mull continue without trying to redirect the bit toward a faster conclusion. Shelley Winters forgetting Annie Potts while sitting right there.
You had that look as you came around the court. Would you like a footstool?
I'm pretty short.
We have a little stool there. There you
Thanks.
are. Did you always want to be taller?
Well, I always wanted to be several things. I thought that if I were a little taller that I would have another body altogether, and I always thought that that would be nice. But,
Yeah.
but this one, this one works.
Looks very serviceable.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It does.
Well, you know what I meant.
Shelley Winters creates one of those accidental couch jokes that no writer could have planned better, as the specific laugh comes from her not remembering Annie Potts while Annie is sitting right there in the same segment. Johnny's reaction is priceless since he has to manage the social awkwardness and enjoy the comedy at exactly the same time without letting either reaction fully take over. Shelley doesn't play it like an insult, which makes the moment even funnier and more uncomfortable than if she had tried to cover for the lapse. Potts becomes part of the joke through her own reaction, while Carson tries to keep the room from turning too strange as the silence stretches slightly longer than anyone planned for.
Yeah, sometimes it's more in the rhythms, you know, than anything else. But there are things that I can't say, like, what we the Southerners do more than anything is extend things. Like, I can't say door. I mean, it's just one thing. We say, it'll be like 5 syllables, door.
Going through the door.
Door.
Yeah.
4.
How do you pronounce S-T-O-R-E?
Stoa.
Yeah, stoa. Yeah. See, in Mississippi, they say stow.
Stow.
Going to stow.
Yeah.
It's just S-T-O, period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ghostbusters is doing very well, isn't it?
Oh, it's doing great.
Yeah,
Ooh, have you seen it?
Yeah.
The humor is all in the honesty with Winters, delivering a lapse in memory so bluntly that it lands like a punchline rather than reading as a genuine mistake. Johnny cracks up at the collision of old Hollywood Candor Live television tension and the sudden realization that the couch itself has become the actual setup for the joke. The segment closes this list perfectly, since it shows that Carson's biggest laughs often came from moments nobody could have written, including the guests sitting in the chairs creating them in real time. Winters' complete lack of awareness about what she'd just done only made Carson's reaction funnier, since he was clearly working hard not to make Annie feel worse while simultaneously losing his composure on camera. You can write 1,000 pages of monologue jokes and still never land something as funny as a tomahawk going exactly where it shouldn't, or an actor casually explaining why he drops his pants between takes. The best stuff on this list was never scripted. It just happened, and Johnny happened to be sitting close enough to catch it. Drop the funniest moment you saw in the comments, and subscribe if you want more hilarious Tonight Show moments like these.